What is it that everybody loves the most? And it's literally sitting here right in front of me. So this is 48 inches of real estate. So if there's one thing an automaker loves more than anything else, it's getting an award. And there are a handful of great awards out there for automakers. Car and Driver's 10 Best, Automobile All-Stars. Like, we've heard about these over the years, and although publications come and go, you get the picture. It's all about awards, right? Well, in the case of the 2025 Lincoln Nautilus, on a rainy day here in Nashville, Tennessee, this vehicle was just named Motor Trend's SUV of the Year. And they named it the SUV of the Year because this sport utility vehicle is absolutely one of my favorite SUVs on the road. It's the one vehicle that I've been test driving over the past few weeks that when I get behind the wheel, I feel a sense of relaxation, calmness. I don't feel like I need to push the gas pedal down. It doesn't need to go fast. Is it got the best 0 to 60 in its category? No. Is it one of the best driving vehicles on the road? No. But it does everything in a way that just makes it great. Great MPG? Sure. Great acceleration? Perfect. Even better with the hybrid. Design and luxury? I think you're going to be hard-pressed to find a BMW or a Mercedes or an Audi that can actually rival the 2025 Lincoln Nautilus. And I'm going to show you guys why this is absolutely one of my favorite SUVs on the road. All right, you guys ready? Let's dig in and find out what makes the 2025 Lincoln Nautilus not only one of my favorite SUVs, but makes it worthy of the coveted Motor Trend SUV of the Year. So opening up the doors on the vehicle, you're going to see the lights click on right here. You have LED lights that span across the entire front of the vehicle with the Lincoln logo being illuminated. That combined with the front grille and then the way the entire front fascia is, if you stand back and look, it has a much more aggressive and bold look. And of course, with this sharing, DNA with other Ford products, you're going to get the best of all worlds with this Nautilus right here. Just on the exterior design, they did a great job. When you look at the black label from the side, there are just some really cool features, and just in general with the Nautilus, that stand out to me. Now, I was on the original Drive program when the Nautilus was brought to market. It was hosted out in Palm Springs. I had a chance to drive it, and this is about 2 years ago. They've even made more advancements since that initial launch date, but here's a couple things that I want to talk about. So first off, you've got 22-inch wheels on the Nautilus. They're Goodyears. They're fantastic. I love the design, kind of carrying over even some of those aviator feels from their design standpoint on the wheels, but 22s are big. Imagine if those were 19s. You're going to get a little bit more quietness with a smaller wheel because it's going to be more tire. But I think this look is fantastic. As you make your way down the side, the black label comes with the mirrors that are going to be black, and then you've got the painted roof line on here. And I love how they divide it like this. One of the coolest features are actually the door handles. So the door handles are up on top. They're not down here. And they're just really cool. They're push button on the inside, meaning the inside of the handle right here. There's a little button, and you just push it right there. I just think it's really cool the way that they've designed this and engineered it from the standpoint of giving you a much different look. It doesn't clutter up the side, and then you've got this banner that runs down the side that says Lincoln Nautilus. Very, very cool. So when it comes to the design of vehicles in general, I love things to be linear. And if you're going to do something up on front, I really want to see you do the same thing and carry it over to the rear, which they've done with the Nautilus. You have the LED lights that span from one side of the front to the other side, from light to light, and you have the same carryover here on the rear with your brake lights. They're going to carry from one side to the other, and I think that they've designed that out well. You've really got this cool little design feature here. Although this is kind of continues the roof line down the back of the vehicle, what I really love is you got your windshield wiper tucked away in here. Again, keeping it elegant and seamless is something that Lincoln wants to do. And then you've got this light up on top. Again, all reasons why it won that coveted Motor Trend Car of the Year. As you look at it from the back, it's so subtle. It's wide, it's bold, it's got a performance-oriented and aggressive stance. The Lincoln logo is right here tucked in below the light, and it kind of faces down a little bit. And when you look at it from the back, you sometimes struggle to know what it is. For me, as a car enthusiast that likes subtlety, I think it's really awesome. But if you're a person that really wants to have that logo embossed and you see it, you probably would have stamped it right here and it say Lincoln on it so that you know exactly what it is, because if you step back, you're not going to know. As we make our way into the interior of the vehicle, let's start with the rear. So here's what's really cool about the Nautilus. Of course, you have an electric liftgate. You have tons of cargo capacity in here. So whether it's, you know, 2 of you or 4 of you heading off to an airport, you're going to be able to fit some pretty significant size bags in here. What I really like about this is that if you swing around to this other side over here, is that you've got 2 buttons for your second row seats, which is something that you don't normally see. It usually comes with a vehicle that's a 3rd row. So you're going to have your seats that drop down here. I love that feature, really, really cool. And then if you want to bring them back up, you're going to actually have to go to the front and bring them back up. Also, you have a little cigarette adapter right here. Still call it cigarette adapter, but if you need to plug in power, you have that ability as well. Here's what's happening under the hood. You're looking at 2 different power plant options with the Lincoln Nautilus. You're going to be looking at a 2-liter 4-cylinder motor, and that's going to be on the standard base motor, which is turbocharged, or you're going to be able to go with a hybrid option as well. I really love the hybrid. I'll talk about that in a second. So with the regular base model, you're going to be looking at about 250 horsepower. And as I said at the beginning of the video, is it explosive? Is it great? Are you going to drag race down the freeway in it? No, you're not. But it's not really meant for that. The hybrid motor is the one that I'm really digging on. So the hybrid motor is going to be that same 2-liter 4-cylinder motor. It's going to have 310 horsepower. But what I particularly like about it is that it only costs $1,500 more to go from the standard turbo up to the hybrid motor. So when you combine those two together, you've got the best of both worlds with the hybrid motor. You have the flexibility of getting great MPG, and you have the flexibility of having a little bit more electric push off the line. So the reason the Nautilus won Motor Trend's Car of the Year is based on the fact that this interior truly puts it in a different level against luxury brands. And in many cases, and I've talked to a lot of journalists, when they get inside the Lincoln Nautilus, it just makes you happy. They've done so much to create a performance-oriented, luxury, refined experience on the inside that there's so many things to talk about. So we're going to start with the true heartbeat. What is it that everybody loves the most? And it's literally sitting here right in front of me. So this is 48 inches of real estate, and it is so well thought out by Lincoln. It's now in the Navigator, and I'm just going to point out a couple different things. So it's divided truly into 4 or 5 quadrants. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you've got 5 quadrants. You've got your digital gauge cluster, which sits right here. You've got your navigation, which sits right here. My cell phone, appropriately titled Airport Surveillance, is connected here. I've got my fuel economy, and then I've got the weather. Now, what's really unique is I can change all of those. And again, 48 inches of real estate, 11.1 inches for this infotainment screen right here. I can change anything up on the screen by simply hitting this button right here. And this button allows me to choose what I want in the 3 quadrants up here. So if I want to go to the clock, I can take the clock and I can just drag it into the area. Now the clock's going to come in right here. If I want to go with my current trip, it's going to go in right here. And I can switch these around from side to side. I can put anything where I want. I love the weather over there, but let's just say I want to go with tire pressure, which I know is actually low in the vehicle. It's going to show me right now that my right rear tire is at 26 PSIs. That tells me I need to go get some air put in there. Now, it did pop up on my screen, but it's just really cool to be able to show that to you, and the weather function. By the way, I can clear all of them if I want, and I can just create a cool design. You got to check that out. So if I want to just roll with the landscape, create a little bit more calmer interior, I can do that as well, and I can just play around with whatever it is I want. I love that feature on the inside. Also new for this year, you've got a new steering wheel, or new in the Nautilus is the steering wheel. It's more of this oval look, which gives it a different feel. These are redwood Venetian seats on the inside. This color is called redwood Venetian. It's double stitched, and Lincoln is very well known for how far they take their seats. And what's really amazing is that when you get inside, they hug you like nothing else. Now, I want to point this out, and it'll be in all my social videos as well. The number one feature that I love on the inside, of course, the screen is amazing. In fact, I want to put it back together really fast. What I love the most in this vehicle are the massaging seats. When my wife got in, the first thing she noticed when I put on the massaging seats is that these are not like any other massaging seat. It feels like there are little balls that roll in these seats, and it just feels so much different. It's actually a massaging seat, not this fake kind of pushing air into your back to make you feel like it. So speaking of seats, you got heated and cooling seats, you've got the massaging seats, and you got 30-way adjustable, all great functions of this. And then you look at just that redwood Venetian color on the inside, just really makes it a standout. Down here, you've got your piano keys. I don't know. I guess I like them. It's kind of a new thing for the brand, having these piano keys down here that you can play with. So, you know, you're in park, you can put it in reverse, you can put it in drive. And then down here, you have your various switches. Down here on the far right, this is your switch to change it from normal to any one of the other features, which is driving features. So conserve, excite, slippery. You have the deep conditions. Excite's interesting. So only on upper trim levels with excite are you going to get the adaptive suspension, which will then give you a little bit more of a dynamic feel with the vehicle. Base model will not have the adaptive suspension, so you won't see it adjust. This Black Label does. And that's going to give you a little bit more of a, you're going to feel it more when you're out on the road, which now takes me to the suspension angle on the vehicle. One thing that the engineering team at Ford did a really good job of is working the suspension components through. It's very quiet. You have a quiet cabin. You've got the suspension that's so soft that when you're going down the road, you don't feel bumps. And as I sit here listening to myself, it's like, man, this guy is over the moon for this vehicle. But it did get Motor Trend Car of the Year, and that's because every single element of this vehicle has been thought out. On the inside, you've got the Revel speakers. You know, you've got two tweeters, one on the driver and passenger side. You've got mids, you've got a subwoofer. Like, they thought all of this through as far as the interior goes on this vehicle. To close out just some of this center stack area, you've got USB and USB-C charging. Of course, my coffee's in the way. And then you've got wireless induction for your smartphone down here. You can turn the smartphone powering on and off for that wireless induction right here. And then you've got your bedazzled jewel circular dial right here that will run you through a variety of things up on your screen. Really cool feature to have this in here. It just sets that luxury to another level. A couple other things I want to talk about, and I think you guys can kind of see it on the video right here. You have the ability to create your own interior feeling. My daughter picked the red, but you've got green and blue and yellow and all these other colors that not only accent right here in the doors. Was it Wolverine with 3? I think it's Wolverine with 3. But it then puts light, red light down at your feet and in the second row, kind of creates this ambiance on the inside. By the way, you also have the ability to select scents for the vehicle. What's really cool about the Aviator and the Navigator is that they send scents to your house when you buy a vehicle and let you pick what you want inside. Kind of gives you a really cool feel. Before we close it out on the interior, a couple other things. Just getting in and out of the vehicle, your door handles are now recessed. They're not on the side right here where you pull them. They're now down inside your armrest right here. Armrest here on the center, armrest on the side, also really cool. So you want to talk about comfort, you're getting it with this vehicle. So let's switch gears and let's talk about technology. So this is the Nautilus that is now going to come with Blue Cruise as an option. And that is Ford's version of Super Cruise that you obviously have with General Motors. Hands off the wheel, feet off the pedals, this vehicle will drive itself. We've tested it quite a bit over the course of having the vehicle. I would say it's good, borderline great, but it's still not as good as Super Cruise. So I would tell the engineering team, keep working Blue Cruise through to get it to that next level of competency. A couple things that I can tell you. So one is when Blue Cruise engages and you're driving down the road, it's watching, all of your expressions on your face. And if you look like this, it immediately, alerts you and says, keep your eyes on the road. That's me just looking to the shoulder and back. And then it will actually jerk and bump the brakes a few times. They'll pump the brakes a few times if they want to get your attention and put your hands back on the wheel. I found it to be annoying because I was fully paying attention and it was like pumping the brakes. But I think it's something that they're going to continue to work on and refine with the vehicle. Full transparency. Second row seating is freaking amazing in the Nautilus. Now, this seat is all the way back for me. And I've got plenty of enough room in the back of this vehicle. And I can recline my seat back if I want a little bit more comfort. I think that's really, really awesome. So if you are a growing family, I mean, right now, I know that I could fit Tyler at 17 at 6'1", and Megan at 5'8" at 15. Both of them could fit back here and be super comfortable. You've got USB-C charging on both sides, two that come out of the back of the seats in front of you. You've got two speakers on each side at armrest level, and then you've got a mid speaker down below by your knees. But again, it just carries over from the front, the luxury. And then you got a full panorama roof here as well. We've got it closed, but this full panorama roof opens up all that lighting for you. And then this beautiful felt, faux felt up here on top. It just, again, you want to talk about a vehicle that is just fully comfortable and feels just luxurious. You have that with the Nautilus. All right, so behind the wheel of the Nautilus, first and foremost, it's quiet on the interior. And I think that's the number one thing that really sets it apart from a lot of vehicles that we test, is that quiet comfort is a priority for Lincoln to create a cabin experience that's like no other. I've found that while test driving this vehicle, I just enjoy driving it. I don't speed, I just kind of chill out. Purpose of our drive right now is to test out Blue Cruise. Now, I've been using Blue Cruise all week, and for the most part, it's been pretty accurate and decent. I'm not going to say it's good or great just yet, because today, while we're testing it, we can't seem to get it to activate. Now, up on the screen, it shows my hands on the steering wheel, and you're supposed to keep your hands on the steering wheel, foot's off the gas and brake. We're going to go ahead and set a speed. So let's get it up to 65, say. We're going to set that speed right there. And now that we're at 65, 66 miles an hour, the vehicle is now in full cruise control mode. But we get this warning that pops up. Watch the road. Resume control. My hands are on the steering wheel. My eyes are looking straight ahead, and then it kind of jumps off. So for some reason, the Blue Cruise is acting just a bit wonky for us today. We've used it, and it's been pretty good so far. But outside of that, we think the engineering team could probably spend a little bit more time just refining this even more. All right, so let's get down to the brass tacks on the Lincoln Nautilus. Obviously, there's just a lot of amazingness with this vehicle. All-wheel drive, MPG at 31 miles on the highway with that hybrid motor. The Black Label provides you with a variety of luxurious features. So what is it going to cost you, right? All-wheel drive, great safety features, Blue Cruise, like the list goes on and on, massaging seats, heated seats, USB charging throughout the vehicle, like great features, right? So you're going to be looking at a starting price right around $50,000 to get into a base level Lincoln Nautilus. Now, the Lincoln Aviator base price is right around $58,000. So you've got about an $8,000 wash between the two base models. Now, if you want to get one fully loaded like this Black Label right here, you're going to be closer to $80,000. But if you look at the competitive segment against Mercedes, against BMW, against Audi, you're going to be looking at a vehicle that is significantly more affordable with more luxurious features. Now, I know the Lexus RX falls literally in the same category with this on size, and you're going to be looking at a price that's north of that with the Lexus. I love this vehicle. I think it's absolutely worthy of the Motor Trend Car of the Year award. And for me, this is going to be one of my top picks for this model year. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video on the Lincoln Nautilus. This thing is absolutely amazing. And if you're in the market for a new vehicle, this is going to be one you're going to want to take a closer look at. If you're not following my other social channels below, please do. At It's Mike Caudell on Instagram and on TikTok, Facebook. Hope you guys enjoyed it. All right, we'll see you out there on the road.